Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Oceaniz.
Hello, folks. It's been a second.
It has been we took a week off last week because real life conspired against us.
hmm
But now we're
Like,
back in Fantasyland, where everyone wants to
yeah,
be.
yes, we are back in children's cartoons periodicals.
As
Uh,
God intended.
yeah, mashallah, God, we are finally doing your work, which is reviewing children comic strips and newspapers. um, God, I mean, it did suck a little that we didn't have an episode last week, but to be honest, these last 2 weeks have been kind of meager.
Man,
Uh,
it's really slim pickings out here.
I feel like we say that every time when either My Hero or Jujutsu is on break.
I mean, that should be indicative of something, I think, as well. But
That's also true.
there were a couple good. This week was better than last week. I'll say that.
Oh yes, yes, definitely. So why don't we just start off immediately with your top three, my guy?
My top three is 3 was Blue Box, 2 was Elusive Samurai, and 1 was Jujutsu Kaisen.
Elusive Samurai, really?
I know.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty neat.
All right. Well, my number 3 was Sakamoto.
Okay.
My number 2 was Earthchild.
Okay.
And my number 1 was Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay. So we got big differences this week, yeah?
Yeah, we'll start with the top 3 like 10 minutes into the show.
Okay, so I guess we obviously need to talk a little bit about last week, just because we missed some stuff, but the only major thing we need to talk about last week is My Hero, since there's no chapter this week. Do we want to do that first, or do you want to do that later?
Sure, let's do it first. People we'll have it out of the way. We'll have it out of our system.
Okay, we'll get it all nice and taken care of. All right, so then first up, we'll do My Hero Academia.
Yeah, so what did you think of that chapter, Mr. Zenrotto?
It's fucking stupid. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I can't care anymore, man.
It's weird. I had some time to think about it, and I think I've managed to put it into words. What we're seeing here is like the opposite of the Ida effect. Because with Ida, he was so important at the start and then just disappeared into nothingness. And now, right at the end, multiple characters are getting the anti-Ida treatment, where they have not existed, they have not had a single atom matter in their body for 200 chapters, and now suddenly, Jiro's fighting the final boss.
Right? That's what I'm trying, like... The last thing she did was play a concert for sad children.
Yeah.
And now she's fighting Satan.
You know what? I stan a girl with a great glow up. I will say that. But also, I cannot get over page 12 of last chapter, because it's a page that has confused so many different translators as to what the fuck Hori is trying to do here.
What he's trying to say, yeah.
Yeah, because for those of you who didn't hear or didn't know, on page 12 you have All for One being held back by the vestiges of the people whose quirks he has stolen. And basically, no two translations can exactly agree on why that happens. The general gist seems to be that half of the translations, both official and fan, assume that this is a delayed effect of New Order, and the other half are saying this is because Jiro's words reached them or whatever. And it seems to be now that Jiro's sound reaching the souls of the deceased is actually the canon translation, which is so funny because the one about New Order would have actually been a pretty cool solution to the whole Stars and Stripe issue.
Yeah, like if this was a result of New Order, for me that would be like, okay, right? Because one, it really felt like she didn't do jack shit. She was just in the story to explode now.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been nice to give Stars and Stripes a little bit of purpose. And also, that is a power that I would be okay with having this effect, because it's super strong. But you're trying to tell me that just Jiro's vibes were so good that the souls of the damned are like, hell yeah, girl.
Yeah, slay queen.
Slay queen. All the ghosts pull out lighters and start waving them over their heads. What the fuck is like? And every explanation I've seen from people, and of course it's an MHA discussion, so everyone has to act like you're a complete fucking idiot on both sides. If you don't agree with
Mhm,
either, it's any discussion about My Hero is the worst. But like,
mhm.
I haven't found a single explanation in any of those discussions that make it feel less stupid.
Well, the gist sort of I've seen seems to be around the fact that, well, quirks have for a while now been able to evolve and change. And I'm like, yeah, no, I accept that. It's just that it has to actually evolve into something that's cool and believable, not, oh yeah, I could make music now. I could make music yesterday, and today I can sing to the dead and they respond.
Yeah, my 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 ears are amps, but now I can talk to the souls of the deceased.
She went from a living boombox to a living Ouija board.
Yeah, like what? And I'm not. And it's just what about her power leads you to like the conclusion that's an evolution of it? It would be like if Davi was like, "Oh man, I make fire. Oh, my power evolved. I also make like ice now. Now I'm just Todoroki also because my power evolved." There's absolutely nothing about sound that is like communing with the dead.
Well, the thing is, what I've seen is people say that, oh, she's evolved, so now, music and the heroic meaning of her song or whatever can reach the hearts and the souls of the lost, just like it does with the living, with the sports festival, saving people through music, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. That is like, I guess that's internally consistent, but it's also really
Yeah,
stupid.
it's also dumb as fuck. So I
Yeah.
don't know what you want me to say about it.
Like the thing is, you can argue that this is sort of within the framework of what the series has established as like, yeah, you save people with music, and you can also save those who can no longer be saved, whatever, sure. But it's like there's a thin line that you can cross here, which is that eventually it just feels like characters can do whatever, right? Like All for One being able to do whatever he wants, that's cool. I actually want that because that would at least make All for One feel like a more powerful ability. But here with Jiro, it's kind of like, okay, what? Why is Jiro the one who gets to talk to the dead?
Also, ignoring the fact that Jiro is functionally irrelevant to the entire like lore of this series, we also have the problem where like you're telling me that Jiro evolved the specific power to speak to the souls of the dead against the exact only human being in the entirety of the planet this would be a useful power against?
Yeah, I guess. Or actually, even the better thing with this is once you start thinking about all the situations in which the souls of the dead did not respond. Because the other thing is, like, what I've heard is people say, like, oh, it's not Jiro specifically. It's like they respond to the struggle against All for One.
Yeah, I
So,
saw that one a lot where they're like, well, this is the first time that a weak person has stood up to All for One, which, like, first of all, what the fuck do you mean by that? Because Jiro's still, like, a pro hero level person, so define weak for me.
yeah,
And
I mean, she's
two,
also a child.
well, sure, but so's Deku. You wouldn't call him weak.
I mean, that's also true. But,
I don't think they would call Bakugo weak if he was in this exact situation.
mhm.
And then yeah,
Yeah, but
like,
it's
why didn't they before?
like, isn't the whole thing about the history of One for All that all of its users were hopelessly outmatched against All for One and all died horrible deaths at his hands? Like, I don't know, could they have not like been moved by that, I guess?
And I like what because I brought up how about when Aoyama literally shot him in the face to betray him to like
Mhm.
be the first one to actually turn on him to do the right thing, and they were like, well, that wasn't actually a fight. You see, the spirits of the dead obey the rules of legitimate fisticuffs, and so they
Oh my
won't
god.
intervene unless it's an actual agreed upon sanctioned match in the
The,
octagon.
the rules of the dead are
Yeah.
heavily, heavily abided by canon and power scaling. Like every time All for One gets hurt by anything, the dead inside of him are like calculating. They bring up like the Windows 11 calculator app. Like, okay, 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 who attacked him? Who attacked him? Who did it? Although by that logic, he steps over a pebble, and they're like, "Oh shit, the weakest being in existence has hurt him." Oh, but no, this is like I kind of just want Deku to show up and fight at this point because every other thing is just falling apart at the seams in My Hero currently. It's just so
All I can think of
weird.
now is like All for One turns a corner and like a stray cat scratches his leg, and then all the spirits of the dead are like, "It's our time! Look how weak that thing is! Get him!"
Like a chihuahua bites him and like souls burst out of his chest and drag him to hell.
He's walking through a door and a little kid bumps into his knee, and just all of a sudden he starts exploding like the end of a horror movie.
No, I mean All for One is smart enough. He knows he has to eat that child immediately.
He has to regain
to restore
dominance
balance.
immediately.
I will say, this entire debacle will be at least kind of cool if All for One dies, but by have actually just being dragged to hell by the souls he has damned. Like, if his final panel is all the people clutching him and dragging him down, sure, that's cool. At this point, I just want to see cool shit. This is nonsense.
What if
I don't care.
Loses right here? Like, what if actually this is how he just loses to Hawks and Jiro, and then he's just gone?
That would actually... I cannot decide if that will make me respect Hori more or less. Because on one hand, that would be the dumbest thing imaginable. But on the other hand, it would get rid of All for One in a very disrespectful way.
Yeah, and he would be gone forever.
Yeah. Oh, he wouldn't be gone. He would like manifest again in Shigaraki.
Oh yeah, you're right. He'd come back and be a whole thing.
Yeah, dude.
But then we could finally get the scene we wanted for ages of Shigaraki dusting him.
I guess sure, but yeah. Did you know that Shigaraki has been a meatbag for almost 600 days now? Like, My Hero has been bad for 600 days. I can't believe it. Or not bad, but like very much not as good as it used to be for 600 days. But yeah, no, I guess to wrap this up, because I feel like we're already just repeating ourselves.
Yeah, we're going down the rabbit hole of what the fuck, Horikoshi.
Yeah, no, the thing is, all right, I have nothing against side characters doing shit. But you need to ramp this up gradually. You can't just have someone like Jiro do almost nothing for 8 years of publication and then have them face off against the main villain and almost like actually, succeed in the sense that they do break his mask. And I don't have a problem with it being a side character doing it. I don't even necessarily have a problem with Jiro doing it sort of on paper. But the problem is there's no pre-work being done. There's nothing here that makes me believe that this is a good direction for the story to go.
Right, that's my problem with it. Is like, there's nothing that's been done with Jiro up to this point that makes me feel like I care enough about her as a character for her to be doing these things, right? Like, I'm almost struggling to think of a relevant background character that I would like. Fuck Bakugo, like, fine, he's relevant enough in the lore that if he were to pull something out of his ass like this, I'm like, okay. Or like, I mean, it's pretty much just Bakugo and Todoroki, I feel like, that are relevant enough to do something like this at this point.
Yeah.
But like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like the old meme about Hori needs to do more with his side characters, that's done. Like, we're at the end. Anything he does now with his side characters will just feel like it's out of nowhere. The time to do stuff with Class A was a year ago, 2 years ago, not now. Now all that's happening is just him moving all the pieces around and hoping that we don't notice that.
Too late. Like, that's what it is for me. It's too little, too late.
Too little, too late. Absolutely. However, I will say, I am at the very least glad that Jiro is doing something cool, I guess. Like, if we neglect all the other shit, sure, it's cool to see her do something. On like a basic, hey, I haven't seen you in a while kind of level. That's also true. But these two things can be true at the same time. And my final point, God, I am so mad that Hawks losing his wings did not matter at all.
I like how he has prosthetic wings. What does that mean? How does he mentally control prosthetic feathers?
His actual quirk is just telekinesis, but he always preferred feathers.
The feathers were never real. They were always fake.
They were never his. They were always like from some poor birds.
He just
But
goes around plucking birds, and everyone's like, "Why are your feathers different colors and sizes and shit?" He's like, "Don't.
you don't want to know.
I don't want.
Just
Don't
take
talk
the
to me about
selfie.
this. Don't talk to me about this."
Yeah, but no, I mean, I could go on and on. There's so much shit that has just been dropped. Like, again, the whole thing with Hawks, where it's like, oh no, his back, it's completely gone. Wow, that sure as hell didn't matter.
Yeah. Well, you know, chalk that up to like 99% of consequences in this series. And
Yeah. I mean, again, to get back one last time to the whole thing with All for One, like, that was the opportunity to make New Order matter, and he just didn't take it. Like, it almost feels like parody at this point.
yeah, it does it almost feel intentional to you that like he just doesn't like why? Why the fuck would you not take this easy layup to make your character that everyone thought was stupid relevant?
Well, the problem with that is that if he were to do that, that would mean that a central plot element of the story would have been delivered by a woman.
Ah,
And
I
we
see.
know Hori.
The allegations have returned.
I mean, okay, to be fair, Jiro does some good shit here. Let's not take it too seriously. But also, the women in his manga do have a very d- extenuated tendency to explode. So I don't know where that leaves us in that discussion. For your folks at home, is exploding women misogynistic? Write it down, addressed to Mr. Zenrotto. Do not text me. All right, is this the sign to move on?
I think so. I think
All
so.
right.
Communing with the damned through the power of vibes out of 10.
Yes, immaculate vibes can undo death. Next chapter in My Hero out of 10. She just revives them.
They're just back to life.
Yeah, because they're there to watch the concert, duh. Come on, like, just read the text, dummy.
She just sings so hard they literally explode out of his body like an alien.
Is that the baby? Oh, all right. All right, what's next?
Next up is going to be Witch Watch.
Well, last week's chapter was actually pretty cool.
I actually thought
The
this
thing
one
with the
wasn't that
marbles?
bad either. I think I kind of like the student council president.
Kind of, yeah. Like, this chapter was also kind of funny. Um, I'm gonna be completely real with you. When I realized the gag of this chapter was gonna be that things are getting longer, I was expecting something else.
Oh, I see. You were not expecting arms and nails.
No, I was, because when she does it and then nothing visibly happens, I was like, uh oh. I think I know where this is going, but it didn't. So I mean, that's pretty cool. Um, it was fun. Like, it was mostly just physical comedy. Um, also the panel where the student, they're like, oh wow, that banner is cool. It's like you're the student council president. I am the student council president. That was pretty cool. Um, I'm surprised that we're stretching this gag to 2 chapters, though. At least.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Like, can they escape without having a moment of weirdness? It's like, I don't know. Can they?
Yeah, that's the other thing with this series. Like, all that's ever at stake is mild awkwardness.
Yeah, right. They're like you, because even they're not even like, oh, you'll get expelled. It's just like they will look at you more,
Yeah, they will.
which they
They will
probably should on account of your supernatural powers.
they will designate you as a little weird. Even worse than expulsion. um, but yeah, no, this was mostly like physical comedy, but it was pretty cool. The gag of the council president not being able to let go of his hat, they get a surprising amount of mileage out of that, right?
Yes.
But yeah, aside from that, honestly, I don't have much to say. It was fun. It was goofy.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It was a
Yeah,
thing. It happened.
yeah, it was a thing that happened, and it was entertaining. I did not regret reading this chapter out of 10.
Which is actually a bit of a plus for this nowadays.
Yes, that is of course true. I will say, last week's chapter, one with the marbles, that one was actually pretty good. I actually did like that one a lot.
I thought it was funny, yeah, that they like accidentally started the giant fad of marbles, and
Yeah,
then it was
just by
all
spreading,
bullshit.
yeah, just by spreading bullshit, saying complete nonsense. Because the worst part is, it feels completely like something that would happen. Like, you just make up some technical mumbo jumbo about something and just pretend you're knowledgeable, and then everyone wants in on it. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's see.
But yeah.
Next is it would be Earthchild, but that is in your top list, so it is
Mhm.
Akane-Banashi instead.
This was pretty good. I liked it. Like, I thought it was interesting that they went sort of for the whole thing with, oh, she's like trying to do it as fast as possible now to sort of wow the audience
Yeah, and
on a
she's trying
technical
to like
level.
do it. I like the explanation of like doing it in lesser breaths.
Hmm.
Oh, that was pretty cool. But I also liked the comparison that they made where it was like, while that was really impressive, this is like a world class singer singing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." Like it, it's not going to do what she thinks it's going to do for the audience. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
Hmm.
It's a good chapter, and I like that this girl is setting herself up to be like the catty rival, who's being like
Hmm.
all friendly, and then she's definitely going to be bitchy behind her back.
Yes, she's going to tell all of them that, I don't know, what can you even say? What's even like a rumor that could damage your Rakugo
Yeah, I don't know enough about
standing?
Rakugo to know what it is.
The brand of water she drinks before reciting it? I don't know. She's a Fiji girl. Oh my god. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. But yeah, no, this was pretty cool. Like, this was one of my more favorite like performance chapters we've gotten. Because
Yeah, it
yeah,
was
sort of
good.
the.
I think because like it didn't go out of its way to focus on like showing us the performance as much as like talking about what she was doing on stage, which I enjoy a little bit more than just like seeing the Rakugo performance because 5 panels of an entire Rakugo play is not that exciting to me. But like seeing it in the background while characters are talking about like the technical ability in what she's doing is
Mhm.
it's impressive to me. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and also if you look on page 11 and 10, the double spread, that one has so much energy. It's so pretty. Like, even if you look like at the shading of her clothing, it's like very quick brush strokes, and it almost looks like it's waves washing over her, which kind of goes in line with the speed lines of the background and the words, like the huge name. So it really adds to that sense of like just velocity with which she's speaking. It's a really cool and subtle trick to keep the energy going. Very, very, very big fan of the art in Akane-Banashi when it really pops off.
Yeah, kind of an
Right?
It's great art. Very good
Yeah, even
stuff.
in general,
Mm-hmm.
like faces and everything look great. Um, and so we move on to the final already, and all the important guys are already there.
Yeah, yeah. Which I guess they decided a tournament arc wasn't going to work.
Well, a tournament arc is only gonna work if you keep it short and sweet, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, I mean
fair
that's fair. There's
enough.
only so much you can do. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, no,
Uh,
I understand.
I
Do we
don't
want to
have
move
that
on?
much else to say about it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, exactly.
Akane
Let's
Banashi,
just.
good at what it does. Um, eh,
It's Rakugo out of 10.
more Rakugo out of 10.
Absolutely.
Um, so next up, those are also in our God, our top threes are so extensive this week that it's hard to
Yeah,
like talk
they're
about
like what,
shit
top
that's not in them.
fives, pretty much.
Okay, so next up is Mashle.
So, do these last couple of chapters feel like filler chapters to you too?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they're cool, but they're also just random guy meets random bad guy and they fight.
Yes. Because I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, not. I mean, I feel like some of them I've seen before. I've obviously the evil brother with the giant sword. That one has stuck around, but everyone else is very much sort of, oh, okay, you're not anyone whose name I remember, but you're doing cool shit, so I guess I can't be too mad, you know?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like this is neat battles, but also who the fuck who are any of these people? I don't know you.
Yeah, it feels like when you see someone on Twitter like post like manga pages of their OCs fighting. It's like this is great art and it looks cool, but I have like no context for who this is.
Yeah, it's just like neat visuals. I did like
Yeah.
the gag at the end where she's like, "Oh my god, I've been turning this key for 10 hours and it's only halfway done," and the little
Mhm.
Shugamaru man made her a cake and somehow it hit her in the eyes. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty cute. But yeah, no, this feels very much like just sort of stalling. And I wonder for what.
Stalling so the Shonen Jump editors don't call him back again.
Before they realize he has disconnected his landline.
Yeah, he's canceling all of his phone service.
No more meddling. I will write 1,000,000 chapters of just nameless characters fighting, and
It's
you're
just
gonna
gonna
love it.
start being characters we've never seen fighting.
Like in 2 years, Mash will still be getting cranked. Like you know how there's the whole that account where it's like it's been 700 days since Gojo has been sealed.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna be
be how
like,
many days since Mash has been in under the key?
yeah, Mash has been getting cranked for 1,000 days. um, but yeah, no, these chapters feel sort of whatever, like very, very lightweight, very unimpressive, honestly. Besides, of course, the art, right? The art's always great in Mash.
Yeah, the whole Thanatos spread was really cool,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but
But
like
again, it's
also,
like,
damn, I don't care.
yeah, like I have no clue who this is. I don't
Yeah,
care. Give me characters whose names I will remember, and then maybe we can talk. Um. So yeah, I think I'm already out for Mash.
yeah. I mean, I literally have nothing here. So moving on.
All right, moving on.
Undead Unluck.
These last 2 chapters have been really good, I'd say.
Yeah, I like them. The cute backstory was cute. I mean, this is pretty much the entirety was just backstory,
Mm-hmm.
and then the reveal that he's working with Ghost,
Mm-hmm.
which we kind of
Yeah.
already knew, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess now we know like to the extent that he was working with Ghost. They're like making a deal or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess his manic pixie gothic girlfriend died, and he wants her back.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
Are you getting Elon Musk and Grimes vibes from these two?
No, because Dr. Nico is actually smart.
Okay, yeah, Dr. Nico's actually useful and
Yeah.
accomplishes things, so that's
Yeah.
fair. Um,
And he works for an underground organization that like has actually that does have good interests in mind and isn't, literally just Tesla and would do nothing it would rather do nothing than I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Fuck Tesla, that's the point.
fuck Elon Musk. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
fuck
all we're
Elon
saying.
Musk.
Fuck
Yeah,
Elon Musk.
that's the joke. You got
Yeah,
the joke like 10
we
minutes
made
ago.
it to the punchline, and that's fuck Elon
All right.
Musk. I thought the backstory was really cute. I liked the as dumb as it is, the I made an electric chair that makes your eye bags look like eyeshadow.
I mean, I'm glad that they didn't like try to explain it. It was just,
Yeah,
I'm science man.
I
have
did science with
things.
my science brain.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, no, I mean, it's funny because before this backstory started, we called Nico like a complete nobody, and now he's actually really cool. I really like him. Like it's kind of done the whole Shen thing
Yeah,
again,
but and I
where it's
don't know
kind
if
of
that's a good or a bad thing for this series, where like you have so many characters that they keep using that I'm like, who the fuck? And then they get a
Mhm.
backstory, and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of like them. But it's a shame that like I feel like they become plot relevant before you get a chance to like them every time. So I always have that delay period where I'm like, this is stupid, fuck you, and then they get a backstory, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I feel like if the end result is that you like him, I feel like that's good enough. I don't think there's I don't think it's really to the detriment of the series. If anything, it's to the detriment of our comment sections because there's always characters that we're just like, oh, who the fuck is this? And then 2 weeks later, we're like, the goat, that's who he is. But I
the
mean, that's
fucking
fine. That's
goat.
just like this is a weekly series, and we're meant to judge it weekly. If we weren't meant to judge it weekly, they will drop it all at once.
Yeah,
Because
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
yeah, like the way you release something is by implication the way you want it to be judged. Even if it's just the material reality, doesn't change it, right? Obviously, already released manga are a different story, right? Like with Naruto nowadays, you're not really supposed to judge the weekly experience anymore, because how the hell are you having a weekly experience with
Right.
Naruto now?
I mean,
One chapter a
feasibly you
week.
could. You literally just read one chapter at a time and review it.
Yeah, I mean you could,
But
but
why?
why?
Why would you do that? Is the question.
Like an authentic re-experience of 15 years of Naruto, that's dedication to the cause.
I will read
Also,
one. That's what I'm gonna do with One Piece. I'm gonna read one chapter and I'm gonna a week, and then I'm gonna finish in fucking 2067.
you're talking like One Piece is ever gonna finish. I mean, okay, it has announced it's in the final arc now.
Yeah, I
For anyone
saw
who
that.
hasn't.
I wonder what level of final arc it's going to be.
Well, I mean, it uses the same kanji they used to announce My Hero, Doctor Stone, and Mashle's final arcs.
Yeah, but Doctor Stone ended. The other ones are like still halfway through the shit they're doing.
True, but I mean, I would say at least My Hero, it's fairly evident that sure, it's halfway through the shit it's doing, but the shit it's doing is running towards the end, right? Like with
Yeah,
Mashle,
but
I have
also
no
it's
clue.
weird because like One Piece's conclusion isn't like I gotta punch this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta punch this dude, which is what My Hero's ending is. My Hero's ending is I have to punch this man, and that's what
Yeah.
we're doing. So I don't know how you just like have a weekly experience where they're just like, oh shit, I see the thing, the treasure is right here. I guess is
Well,
what
I
you have to
mean,
do.
yeah, but I mean, realistically, what's gonna happen is that everyone's gonna pull up on Laugh Tale, and they're just gonna have a big, probably naval battle, I guess. Because I mean, that's the one thing that they all fear, right? All the Devil Fruit users cannot swim, so they're all gonna have like a big naval battle. Maybe like fucking build a wooden arena over the water for dramatic effect, and then they're gonna fight there, and then whoever wins gets to claim the One Piece.
My favorite panel of One Piece is when Luffy punches some guy. I don't know, crocodile, and he says, "Get pieced once." That's my favorite. That's my favorite One Piece panel.
It's One Piece time.
Stand back! I'm One Piecing.
Also, I mean, since we're there, I cannot fucking believe Morbius bombed a second time.
That was so fucking funny. How
That's
do
the
you gaslight
great.
a studio into re-releasing a movie and then they make $80,000 off it? They probably paid more to get it back in the theaters.
Yeah, $80,000. That's less than $80 per cinema that it ran into. That it ran in. That's insane. That means that over that what it's 3 days, was it the run?
Yeah, just the weekend of
Yeah,
it.
so over a weekend, $80 per cinema. Per cinema, that was like what? 4 people watched Morbius? Like how does that even happen?
Yeah, because they said what the cinemas averaged about $80 in revenue
Mm-hmm.
for Morbius, which tickets where I am are $15.
Mm-hmm.
So 30, that's 6, that's like 7 or 8 people.
Mm-hmm. Per cinema. That's horrible. That's so bad. Also, have you seen the GoFundMe for it?
For Morbius?
The petition, we were all busy that weekend, release it again.
Oh my god. If they release Morbius again and it makes like $38, I will fucking die.
Every time something goes wrong for Jared Leto, I like rejuvenate.
Yeah, Jared Leto's the worst. So
Yeah, fuck
him
Jared Leto.
suffering mildly, I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good shit. I don't want
we
him to get
watched.
like cancer, but like I want him to just have these minor embarrassments constantly.
Oh yeah, I want just everyone to sort of see him as first of all as a ridiculous, idiotic human being, and
Well,
then I want
he's a little
everyone.
creepy weirdo. Like we know that.
Yeah,
He's a little
that's
creepy
the
weirdo.
second one. That's
Yeah.
the second one. First, laugh at him, and then ask him how old the people are that he keeps on his secret
On
island
his
that no one
private
gets to
island
meet.
of worshippers for
Yeah.
a fucking musician.
Ugh.
Yeah,
But yeah, we watched American Psycho the other day, and
it's a
you've
good
seen
fucking
it,
movie.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. When Jared Leto got destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
that was like a peak Kino moment, I dare say.
Christian Bale goaded for that one.
Yeah, NGL. I can't believe Christian Bale killed Jared Leto in real life. What a madman! Like that's how you know the movie is good. They actually killed him. Like
He's a
fun
ghost,
fact.
right? Morbius is a true story. He's actually a vampire right now.
Morbius is the greatest movie of all time because the actors were truly dedicated to what they were doing. Jared Leto actually became a vampire. That's true dedication.
Yeah, he's a real method actor.
Yeah.
He
That
killed
reminds
himself to become a vampire.
that reminds me of the whole meme where it's like Jared Leto will not eat for 4 months and beat up kittens only to get 16% on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah. They'll do like the worst shit for 2 years to film a movie, and it'll be the worst movie ever.
Uh, anyway, what series were we even talking about? We were
Undead
talking
Unluck.
Undead Unluck. Okay. It was good. I liked it when Andy undeaded and unlocked all over him.
Stand back, I'm undeading.
Also, I will say the phrase cover up those unsightly mounds of flesh gives me just the worst vibes, but also it's
Yeah,
kind of funny.
it is funny, but yeah, it's got atrocious like Twitter dude bro, like Redditor energy.
Yeah. Vixen.
It that's some shit that someone would tweet and then they would hashtag it with "I stand with Vic." Like that's the level of horrible vibe I'm getting from that.
That's a deep cut. That's not like if anything, the more modern thing would be the whole Johnny Depp thing, I guess.
Yes, it would
But
be
oh god.
that, and then like a 48 tweet long thread about why Amber Heard is the worst human being to ever walk the earth.
Yeah, well, not even that. It would probably like veer off on tweet 2 just about how this case proves we should never trust women again about
Yeah.
anything.
One woman might have lied one time. Well, okay, she lied, but like so did he, so it's fine. But like,
It's fine.
well, it's not fine.
Yes.
They're both really shitty people. It's the message we should be
Okay,
taking from this.
I will not comment on that because I genuinely have not followed any of that shit. The moment I realized people were streaming it, I muted everything and have heavily judged every single one person on my mutuals and friends I've seen sort of get engaged with it because it's just like,
Yes, I used to
yeah,
watch. So there was like a WoW creator who got like into Final Fantasy for a while. So I was
Asmongold.
watching him. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
he's all
yeah.
of his videos that used to be like reacting to this thing in Final Fantasy, and like it was actually like some good discussion because he would talk about like the ways that they were different and the ways that like people who play WoW primarily usually point to like its longevity, the fact that it's been around for so long as evidence that it's doing it right, which is not always the case, and like there's a lot of things that Final Fantasy does better and worse. And it was just cool like insights from someone who was experienced in both. And then one day his entire channel just turned to like hashtag what did she say? Capital exclamation mark like Amber Heard crying picture, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean that's because here's the thing. Like as I said, I know very little about the actual specifics of the case, but what I do know is that as an adult, seeing everyone lose it over like clickbait thumbnails over about this fucking domestic abuse and what was
Yeah,
it,
that's the thing. Is like
slander trial.
we're just so far off the topic of Undead Unluck, but like what the fucking thing about this is that it's literally a trial over like a horrible abusive couple doing like awful things to each other. And then people are like putting it on TikTok with like silly background music, and then they're like, the perfect summary of this is that guy who tweeted after the verdict came out, and he tweeted, "Today will be the day that Amber Heard will always remember that she almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow." And I'm like, shut the fuck up. These are
Yeah,
like
it's like
horrible people who have done horrible things to each other. It's like a nightmare. Like this should not be entertainment for you.
well, even more than that, it's like this is reality. Like not everything is epic pop culture reference.
Yeah,
Like it's
like God, there are so many clips of him like being sassy, and then they're like, "Oh, Johnny, he got him," and I'm like, "This fucking trial. This is a
yeah.
courtroom."
Well, I mean, I don't know if you were. I don't know when you sort of got heavy into sort of on the internet and stuff like that, but I remember that one big blowout, probably at this point, almost 10 years ago, of that convicted rapist in Florida, where like a bunch of people tried to petition him out of jail because he was hot.
That doesn't surprise
And
me. I mean, Ted
yeah, and they
Bundy
were
had
like,
like lifelong fans and followers in prison.
yeah, I mean, he still has a fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dear God, maybe commercializing every single part of our lives and connecting it with fiction was not a great idea. Maybe we have bred a generation of people, and even retroactively made previous generations into people that see everything as just through the myopic lens of their own like entertainment value and of like their own participation in it, because that's what it is, right? Like it's, oh, Johnny, my guy, is in a trial that is
My
happening to be live
bro, yeah,
streamed.
my
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, and it's like, man, it doesn't matter who was right or wrong there. Like, it's not your fucking business. It's not your. Because I saw other people were like, oh, I'm just invested because I want to see justice served. And it's like, you're not a judge. You are not a person with any competence in this. And so why are you sitting here watching 3 hours of a trial you have no stake in? Like, how is that normal human behavior? It's just creepy as hell to me. And it's so dystopian to have like this, yeah, this abuse trial that has just been turned into a massive, like, topic hashtag, like, God, people there are content creators who have transitioned into being deppers, right? Like just making
Depper.
content about nothing
Hashtag
else. Yeah.
Deppers. That's the worst term.
Actually, it's really funny because Depp is German for idiot. So, I mean, it makes sense, these fucking Depps. But no, no, I mean, it's such an icky situation from start to finish. As I said, I cannot say what or who did what because I've been out of it, but just the entire situation is gross. The way
Correct.
people have handled it is gross. That's my
Yeah,
take.
that never should have been televised.
Yeah. You know what should be televised? Undead Unluck. It's a good manga.
It should get an anime.
Yeah.
I would watch that
Yeah, it
anime.
should get. It should get what are we giving it? Abrupt segue into the actual topic out of 10.
Yeah, abrupt segue into fucking horrific courtroom monstrosities out of 10.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't envy your comment section, bro.
yeah,
Not gonna
it's
lie.
gonna be bad. There's gonna be
This one might be a one too far.
yeah, this is gonna be one of the ones where I watch the comments for like an hour and then I mute them. Like,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. Okay, so I think we're in the top threes now, correct?
Well, don't we have the two new ones?
Oh, you're right. I forgot that they existed. So
Yeah.
next we'll talk about Alien Area is what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we can talk about both chapters, sort of just
Yeah,
the
I mean
vibe.
it's only 2 chapters long. We might as well.
Yeah, what do you think of it so far?
I like it. This might be a weird thing to say. I'm getting like Dr. Stone vibes from the two main characters. Like,
You know what?
the main guy is so normal and just like a guy just trying to do the right thing. And then the secondary dude is just like this weird, eccentric specialist at what he does. I'm getting super hard Taiju Senku vibes from the two of them.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I will say the scientist guy here is definitely a lot more social than Senku was.
Yes.
Which is cool. Like it's a nice take on that sort of archetype.
I do like him as a character. I like the weird guy. The main character has done almost nothing, so I don't really have an opinion on him. He basically doesn't exist yet. So we'll need to kind of see because his only character trait so far has been, I have to take care of my siblings, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his motivation. But
yeah, and
it's
I mean,
always
honestly,
weird to me in a series like this where like this guy with the hand is clearly meant to be the main character, but he has contributed zero to like the staying power of it so far. It's all been the other guy. So I'm interested in how they're gonna move that around.
Yeah, I don't even know if I agree with that because for me, one of the main things in the first chapter that sort of got me interested was the fact that his like motivation was just literally, oh God, I don't want to be poor and starve. Because I feel like we haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, he's just trying to like live and do like jobs to support his family. It almost reminds me a bit of, and you're gonna like this comparison. It reminds me a bit of Ichigo, where it's just like he's just Yeah, he's just a guy with priorities that are not like otherworldly. It's just I have people I care about and I want to make sure that they have good lives. And here it's sort of taken to an extreme where it's like having good lives means not starving. And I feel like we haven't seen that in a while. Like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like every other series we've had for the last couple of years has always been something either fairly eccentric or almost like non-distinct. Like just stuff like, oh, I want to like Shikamaru, being targeted by this assassin organization and I just kind of don't want to die, which fair enough. Or I want to be the greatest hero, or I want to undo the petrification of Earth and all that shit. Like it felt like people's goals were mostly dictated by external forces that sort of catalyzed the plot, or their goals were things that were sort of very out there, very exceptional. Whereas this guy is just, I don't want to starve and I want my siblings to be able to live good lives. They're like, yeah, I'm all up for that. I feel like I agree that he hasn't done much yet, but just that setup has already endeared me enough to the point where I can tolerate a few more chapters of him doing nothing before I will have a problem, basically.
Yeah, the world building's been good also. Like I thought
Mm-hmm.
the little mission today was good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the neat way they use like tech is cool. The whole like
Mm-hmm.
zero gravity plan I thought was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all in all, I'm a fan so far. It's got my
Yeah,
attention.
absolutely. I definitely think the design of the science guy is a little weird. I'm not sure I like the hair yet.
It is a little funky. But I thought Senku's was a little funky too, and I ended up really liking his design. So,
Well, okay, Senku in chapter 1 also doesn't look like Senku.
well, that's true. He also essentially gets redesigned a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, for the better, I'd say.
yes, oh, definitely, yeah. Chapter
Yeah.
one Senku was rough. Um,
Yeah. Um, anything else?
no, I don't think so.
All right. Do we move on to Ruri Dragon?
Yes, next one is going to be Ruri Dragon.
What do you think?
It, it, it exists.
Yeah, I
I
mean
have
it's.
no opinion on it really at all because the entire
Mhm.
thing was just like I have dragon horns. Isn't that weird? Um,
Yeah. Like the
this is
art's cute.
apparently a continuation like of a one shot. Like it's not like Build King where it's the same general premise but it's totally new. It's apparently
Mhm.
just like the one shot, but like again.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, according to the internet anyway. So I don't know if that is good or bad. Like I don't know if that means he plans to just, or I guess she. I don't know. I'm just saying he is a general catch all for the manga author. But I don't know if that means that they have like a concrete plan of where they want this to go. But this first
Mhm.
chapter was really just like almost nothing.
Yeah. It was just kind of like, hey, wouldn't it be fucky if this one schoolgirl had dragon powers? And I mean,
Yeah.
I like dragons. I'm good with that. Give me some cool dragon shit. I'm gonna be an extreme meathead and say, turn this into a battle manga ASAP, and
Give
I'm good.
her, make her start fighting immediately.
Give her like the absolute biggest abs imaginable, and have all of those abs singularly shoot fire. 1 billion, $1 billion. First manga to earn one
One more
rurillion
billion
dollars.
dollars.
1 more $1 billion. Uh, it's weird because I don't even think the Morbius meme is even that funny. But I feel like the whole thing where it bombed the second time has almost made the meme funny again.
Yeah, so the thing is that the Morbius memes itself aren't like funny because it's literally just like a bad movie. But the
Hmm.
absurdity of how far they go makes it funny to me. Like, have you seen the one where it's just like when you smell fries in the vicinity and it's just Morbius flying?
Get them, Morbius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get them fries. Hashtag Morbius sweet.
Yeah. No. Like I don't know. It's so weird to me because also I was thinking of watching the movie before it came out. Could kind of just look, I guess, interesting. Um, but we are once again off topic.
Yeah, we're back on Morbius again.
Yeah.
Boy, Ruri Dragon.
Yeah, it's all right out of 10.
It was there. I don't even know
Yeah.
that I thought it was like that cute. I'm sure there are some people who think it's the cutest fucking thing ever. I don't know. I don't. I'm not big on the like animal schoolgirl archetype of
Fair enough. Fair
manga.
enough. So do we just want to move on then?
Yep,
All
existed out
right,
of 10.
perfect. Yeah, it sure existed.
Sure was there. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
next up is going to be, looks like Earthchild.
Mm-hmm. Man, this chapter was rough.
Yeah, so we we finally got what we were kind of talking about for a long time when we first got the narration of older Mamoru. We were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, are we just going to jump over and take over with him as the protagonist now?" And we never did.
Mm-hmm.
And now we almost sort of are. Like this was sort of the hard confirmation that the story we're being told is a story being written by an older Mamoru.
Yeah.
Which puts a lot of layers to it because
Mm-hmm.
it also could just be like fake, like he could just be lying.
Yeah,
Um,
that is true.
so I don't know. I liked it. It was very stressful. I like the stakes in this series and how hard it goes to constantly have them. Um, and I'm less worried about cancellation now. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I really thought they were just gonna get her and be like, "That's it, we got her." But now there's like so much extra shit going on.
Yeah, but it's one of I've said this before. I feel like it could get canceled, and I am already satisfied with what I've gotten because every chapter is just so cool. Like this one too, it was just pure stress, like just continuous, like an avalanche of oh my god, oh shit, what is happening? It was interesting because it kind of mirrors Carreri being showered by the meteors. It's
Mm-hmm.
just every page is just stress, just a new sort of trope about oh my god, they're actually just letting her die, and then right at the end you get sort of the recuperation of no, we will not, we will actually save her, and here's what we're gonna do. And I think that is just such a strong energy to carry, and it's even more impressive that they can carry an energy like this in chapter 16,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's crazy. At 16 chapters to have this sort of weight on your shoulders and have it like be believable and actually affecting to the audience, at least to me it did. um and yeah, of course, as you said, the confirmation that this is essentially a backstory definitely makes it very interesting to see where the series might go afterwards. I don't
Yeah,
even
and
know
I
if I
mean
want it to go
the
much
discussion
on.
from the older Mamoru implies that the dad is still alive. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just in the way that he's speaking about them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it says nothing about the mom still,
Yeah,
and
that
it
is true.
also doesn't necessarily like because I'm starting to get death flags from Albert, big time.
You think?
I'm feeling it.
Okay.
Um, so he may like rescue Carrie and send her back and then die in the process
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that they both get back. Because I mean, his whole thing was that he was supposed to die as an Earthchild too, and then his brother sacrificed himself to save him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know. I feel like it probably feels right to him that this is another mission he's now going on when he wasn't supposed to go on anymore. Um, and it's his turn to sacrifice himself for an Earthchild and save them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. Like, I guess we'll have to see. It's one of
Yeah,
those
we'll have to
things
see where
where,
it goes.
yeah, this is one of those series that I have a hard time predicting, which is good. I like that. That it's sort of, it's not like overly subversive, but it has sort of this tendency of doing things I didn't expect. Just
Yeah,
because I
it
guess I don't
doesn't
know
feel
very
like it's
well.
doing things for the purpose of subverting your expectations as much as just like where he wants the story to go is not entirely overly basic.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, honestly, that's already most of what I had to say on it. Just a bombardment of emotion, which
Mm-hmm.
really hit for me.
Real good.
Hmm.
All right,
So
so
what's
then
next?
next up is Blue Box.
Blue
Uh,
Box.
real good chapter. I really liked it. I
Hmm.
like how it's framed like a sports chapter
Hmm.
where the entire focus is on this game.
Hmm.
Um, but the actual conflict going on is not the game at all, and it's just Taiki's thoughts about the two of them and like
Hmm.
how he's processing it, which is not very well.
Yeah.
My voice struggling.
Yeah. Literally did an accidental split. That must have hurt.
Yes, that must have hurt a lot. As someone who's done that on a gymnasium floor, in fact, it hurts a lot.
Oof.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Yikers.
hit some sweat and your foot slips on that fucking polished ass wood. Hurts.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. No, that was pretty dramatic. And also, I don't know, like it's interesting to see how Taiki is just so continuously adversarial towards himself,
Mm-hmm.
almost. Like he's battling himself as much as he's battling this other badmintoner.
Yeah, what is the word for that?
Cocker. Retweet if you're a real shuttlecocker. The shuttlecock fandom is dying. um, but yeah, no, it was really cool, as you said, sort of how all of what we get to see, or most of what we get to see, sort of in the current, is just a game, but the actual yeah, the dialogue and the conflict is the internal one, the one about the girls. It's interesting. It's sort of funny to look at this and sort of remember how this series is technically a sports romance, but it's like 90% romance and 10% sports.
Yeah, the sports are almost not there at all. But I really
Yeah.
liked the framing of this one because this is like, if you replaced his thought bubbles in this with like thinking about the game, this is just a sports manga chapter. Like,
This is just Kuroko no Basket.
straight up, yeah, it's just like a haiku chapter basically at this
Mm-hmm.
point. But instead of it, they completely frame all of his like internal struggle during the game around the two of them. Um, it's good. I liked it a lot.
All right. Yeah, no, me too. I was a big fan of this. I'm kind of starting to wonder where Blue Box is even going though, right? Like what's ultimately going to happen? What do you think?
That I don't know. Um, it's hard to say because the obvious thought is that he ends up with Chinatsu and that's the thing. But obviously they're really sticking with the love triangle longer than I expected anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've also got the angle of like maybe they decide that romance isn't the best idea and they want to follow their dreams or whatever. It's hard. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, like that's what I'm getting to, because it feels like it's been doing this romance plot, well, a long time, for the entirety of its run, but I don't see like an ending in sight yet. It still feels like there's still much to be done, which is interesting considering that, it's 56 chapters for a romance series. That's not little,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um so yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. Um I'm just interested to see where this is going to go.
Hopefully somewhere not painful.
I mean, it'll definitely be painful, that's for sure. But it'll hopefully be worth it. I guess that's the better word for it. Do we want to move on?
Yeah, I think so.
All
We
right,
can jump
perfect.
straight to Sakamoto Days.
Oh, bro, cross-dressing Sakamoto.
I love the
That's
absurdity of dressing his fat ass like his tiny wife.
yes. Also, it took me until this chapter to realize that his wife looks exactly like Kobani from Chainsaw Man.
Yes, she does.
Um, but yeah, it's such a dumb solution to this, but I kind of love it because in a way, it almost makes the exam arc completely pointless. But instead of being sort of annoying, it's really funny because it just feels like something that would happen in Sakamoto.
Yeah, of like all of that like all of that shit just for the minor irritation of like, now I got to do this.
Yeah. Also, I think it's so funny that we had this entire fucking fight, and then it's just like, oh, sorry, on a technicality, I was never going to pass anyway because I have a bounty on my head.
Yep.
Also, I like how Nagumo appears. He's just like, hi guys,
I love
I
that
can
dude.
help you.
He's so
Yeah.
great.
I mean,
One of my
all of them are
favorite
just,
chapters is the one where he's posing as Sakamoto's wife and he kills that dude in the store.
oh yeah.
That one's so good.
Yeah, this series is just continuously fun and interesting. It's like not super hashtag deep or whatever, but it really
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
have
not
to
like
be.
groundbreaking, but like it's really well presented. It's really well drawn, and it's fun
Mm.
every week.
Yeah, exactly. Like also now here with the Assassin Academy, it's just an interesting like setting to see, like the craziness of it. It's like the Chandler is like, "What? You're unarmed, lady? You should have a weapon with you
Yeah,
at
go
all
get a
time."
weapon on you at all times.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Um. But yeah, the highlight was obviously Sakamoto the woman, which I'm sure will lead to some fun shit.
And I'm
Hopefully.
glad we're back with that girl who's like awkward but good when she gets in the zone. I like her. She's funny.
Yeah, she's really cool. I'm glad. It's also cool that she's sort of being the vocalizer, basically the vocalized character
Mm-hmm.
this time around. Um, but yeah, I'm already out. Honestly, like it was just fun, just a fun way to spend some time.
All right. Well, in that case, we can move on to the Elusive Samurai.
All right,
Uh,
what you like about it?
I fucking love the concept that like the guy is a really good fighter, sort of, where it's like he's a really good warrior, but not really for the conquest of waging war, but instead for inspiring other people. Because like faith and devotion is a big deal, especially in like old warfare, where like if these people are like see evidence that they should fight for you, it suddenly they become like motivated, and it's almost like magic that they're
Mm-hmm.
so much stronger. I thought that was a really cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought the arrow dodge against the Eye Man was cool as fuck. And I like that we're gonna see his kid fight because apparently, like, his kid is also part of his whole thing, and he was the deity as well for a while or whatever. So he should also be a crazy fighter. So next week's fight should be cool because it's the ninja and the Tengu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true, true. Also, a detail I just noticed, like, yeah, he's a good fighter, but he's not like flawless. So when he shoots back at the eye guy has like a huge eye symbol on his head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't actually hit bullseye. Like he
Yeah, it's
doesn't
like
hit into
slightly
the
to the
middle.
side.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, probably it's also because that's more efficient, because that's the thinner part of the helmet, but still, I feel like it, like visually, it also communicates that, hey, he's good, but he's not flawless. He's just good enough
Mm-hmm.
for the job. So yeah, that's really cool. This is probably the first chapter centered on this guy that I've actually enjoyed.
Yeah, I think me too. Probably it's the first chapter around this character that has made me feel like I want this character in this series.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it
He
only
still
took.
feels like a Koro Sensei attempt to recreate,
Mhm,
and he still feels like he's failing at that, but he's
mhm.
cool now in this chapter at least.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it only took 66 chapters, but we did it. We liked the god guy, the priest man, the weird retainer guy. But yeah, did you have anything else? Because this chapter was alright for me, but I didn't really spend too
I
much time
mean,
on it.
I really just enjoyed the concept of like he had to hone all of these skills to better show that he is like truly the patron of a god of war, and to inspire like not so he can be the strongest around, but so that people would be inspired to fight for him. I like that. I like the general aspect of like this is warfare. This is not one person fighting. It's just like when it does it well. I feel like this chapter does it well, where they talk about like the importance of troops and whatnot. But sometimes when it's
Hmm.
just like here's the map of the battlefield. This is here. This is, and then it drags a lot. But
Just drops that Google Maps on you.
mm-hmm.
He's like, figure it out, loser. But all right. Does that mean it's time for the finale?
I think so. It's time
Oh.
for everybody's favorite section, which by that I mean the one that they hate is always our number one. Uh, Jujutsu Kaisen.
I mean, if you wonder why this series is always number one, just fucking read this
Just
chapter.
read it. Oh my god, absolute fire from start to finish. I'm
Turn
sorry if
up the
reading Hakari's rules is like too much for your brains. I'm sorry.
turn up
It's
the volume because this is a funeral for the living.
so fucking good.
Dear God.
I know you're
That's
immortal, but I'll kill you anyway.
that is just it's the purest meathead shit
It
in
is so
existence.
peak at all times.
Literally
Distilled,
says start the music.
distilled peak fictiononium.
Yeah, pure canonium. It's pure morbonium distilled into his hands. Oh my god. I also like how the scenario that gives him his invincibility now is the time the protagonist shits himself in the
Yeah,
train.
yeah, he managed to hold it, so he got a jackpot.
Dumbest thing in existence. Also, someone pointed out how um Hakari's power up is literally just the superstar from Mario. You're
Yeah, it
invincible and
is.
music starts playing. Oh, but God, I love this. This is the perfect matchup. Just pure power versus power. Like just hands and just like output. Um, of course, always with the signature cool shit that Akutami does, like with the on page 6 when Hakari shatters the panel,
I love it.
and
He
there's
does
that
it
one.
twice, and both times it's so good.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh, he's so good, and both times you get like his face reflected in one shard. Oh my god. Um, Also just all the like hand to hand panels are really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's cool because it's like it looks like actual martial arts. It doesn't look like just punches being thrown. Like because a lot of action manga tend to just sort of have punch versus punch, whereas here it really feels like these people know what they're doing. Um, which obviously helps, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah, like God, so good. And the little flashback bit was neat too. I'm glad that we kind of get some confirmation that because a lot of people were still on the fence of like, nah, Kenjaku is only Noritoshi Kamo like originally, and now we kind of see that that's not the case.
yeah, this is much before.
Yeah, because Noritoshi Kamo was 150 years ago. The flashback was what 400 years ago,
I believe so, yeah.
and then Sukuna was 600 years before that.
Yeah,
So
Sukuna is 1,000 years ago.
yeah, like 1100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I guess it would be a flat thousand. Yeah, 1,000 years
Yeah, like
ago.
around 1,000.
Yeah, and Kenjaku still seems to think he's the strongest after 1,000 years, so that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I like that little flashback. I also like old Kashimo.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I honestly
seeing
think
old man Kashimo.
honestly think his old man design looks better than his current, frankly, because in his current, the two like buns that he has that make it look like he has little horns. I know it's meant to be Kirin horns, but I don't know, it doesn't look quite as good in my opinion. I prefer one bun old man Kashimo.
Okay, I
Um,
like them both. I think they both are pretty good.
I also
Um,
like the mention of Ryu in the past. That one's really cool.
yes, how he was the canon born into the clan and whatever.
Yeah, the highest energy output ever.
Yeah,
So
which
yeah,
is
no,
also
very
cool
cool chapter.
because when you contextualize people that are our guys have already fought like that, you also kind of recontextualize how strong our people are in the grand scheme of things. So like
Mm.
Yuta's just that dude,
Yeah,
basically.
he's him. He's got that dog in him. I mean, God, like the thing with Jujutsu Kaisen is that even when it gets chapters like these that are just fighting, it's just the most distilled meatheadery in existence. Like, you get like that entire sequence from when Hakari gets the jackpot. He gets turn up the music, he gets his power-ups panel, and then you have Kashimo being like, "Oh, um I I could just survive his onslaught and then win, but that's how losers think." And then you turn the page, and he's engulfed in lightning while Hakari is literally doing a JoJo pose.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just trash talk and standoffs. Like this is Shonen.
Peak shonen.
This is peak
Peak.
Shonen. This is meatheadedness, meatheadonium
Yeah, I'm
injected.
sorry. The line of I could easily hold out until his time runs out and then kill him before he gets the next jackpot. But that's how a loser thinks. I'm gonna kill him through his immortality is so fucking raw.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a big part also of like it's a big point that is being made also about Jujutsu sorcerers from the past, right? Because nowadays Jutsu abilities, we've been told many times, have gotten much more complicated and much more specific and modern. Whereas in the olden times, it was a lot more about raw power. And so now we have Kashimo, who basically goes, "I don't want to figure this power out. I'm gonna kill him dead, no matter what." like even through its meatheadedness, Jujutsu Kaisen is still communicating this transition from the old to the new, like this generational shift, which is interesting because we do actually have quite a few series in Jump, or had in the last couple of years, that dealt with the idea of passing the torch. The most obvious one, of course, being My Hero, with questionable results, but that's a different
Wow.
story. Yeah, but yeah, no, very cool. I have no clue what's gonna happen. I am at a loss, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win. I'm stressed because I really like Akari. I don't want him to die.
Yeah, but it also feels like one of those things where I don't know if you could do his power, if you could do more narratively with his power, because this feels like the biggest celebration of the character possible, right?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't really know where you take him from here, or if you just kind of sideline him. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Um. All right. Is that it?
I guess so. Yeah, I don't really want to just like cry more existentially about how I'm gonna lose another character. Gojo's still in the box.
Mhm. Yeah. Gojo's still in the Rubik's cube,
Still in the box. Maki's not
still
back.
dancing.
Yuta's somewhere else. It's rough. It's rough out here.
Yeah, it really is.
But I guess
Um.
that's all I've got.
Yeah, I guess that's the wrap up this week.
All right, everybody.
Uh.
Well, thank you for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you here on Shonen and Chill, talking about children's cartoons in the face of impending world disaster.
Hey, give us some credit. We talked about Morbius.
We did talk about Morbius way too much.
Yeah.
For two people who have not seen Morbius,
For two people who don't plan on watching it.
we'll never watch Morbius. Uh, but we will see you guys next time.
Yeah. Take care, fellas.
Bye bye.